Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis IV with me, Alfapiomega, Meiou and Taxes, Historical Immersion and Bohemia. So I ended the last session in a bit of a cliffhanger where we have inherited the Hungarian throne. I was honestly not expecting that, I was not expecting that to happen, but it did. I don't know why, but we got it. We got Hungary. We got it as a junior partner, and then we just inherited the entire area. Now, this means a lot, considering that this is a roleplay kind of a game. I've been thinking hard and heavy about it, and what I think could happen in this is that when the king has died, the estates in Hungary, out of desperation, on one side seeing the Turks coming, on the other side seeing Austria, and after the successful war of Bohemia, when we have returned the territory to Hungary, the estates have just decided to give up and give the throne to our heir Petr Kinski, which means a number of things. I'm gonna see this as having two distinct kingdoms united under one throne, under one crown, and that means several things. First of all, we are going to accept the Hungarian as an accepted culture, because we have sworn, or we would have to have sworn, to protect the Hungarian lands. We also have now the obligation to regain all of the territory that has been lost to Wallachia and to Austria, and just make it back under the culture of wait, it's the accepted culture. I want the here area. Yes, so we want to get the entirety of the region, this as our territory in Hungary. So we need to reclaim quite a lot of that from Wallachia, some from Austria, and unfortunately some from the Ottomans as well. Third thing, we will need to protect Bohemia from the Ottomans, who are now close. They're actually our neighbors. I think this is not passable, this terrain. Yes, it can be passed, but literally they are beyond the mountains. So they can just spill in through Wallachia and start plundering our territory, which means that we will have to somehow figure out how to protect the territory, and probably invest heavily into it. Now, I have gone and checked the provinces. I would like to show you some of them and outline my plans for it. So first of all, Pest will become the secondary capital, the next capital after Praha. So Praha will be the first primary investment. Pest will be the secondary. It is rubbish right now, but it is still one of the biggest or most developed provinces as far as the newly gained Hungarian territory goes. So we will invest in it and make it better. We do have it as a core, so I think we can immediately build the forts here. Yes, we can. So let's start building a fort here, because Pest must be defended. We should also probably reform some other forts, or there are no other forts at all. Oh, Borsod has or I think this is Borsod, I'm not sure, has a fort. So that one could be taken, but we'll see. So this is the outline for my policy. The primary thing that we need to do right now is we need to make sure that we have these territories under control. They are currently under martial law. The game will have to recalculate the communication efficiency. Now, considering we have 40% autonomy in Novohrad, I think that it's gonna be possible to have a decent autonomy even in the last province over there. But we'll need to build roads where they are lacking. I think Prashporok, Novohrad doesn't have them, but Pest does. So we should build roads in Novohrad. So let's build the roads here. You guys contribute? Yes. Can we contribute manpower? Yes, we can. Okay, so Prešporok has roads, Novohrad is building roads, and Pest has roads. The surrounding territories do have them, but not a big issue. Hevas has it, and then there are no roads. So we'll need to fix that in the upcoming months to connect the entirety of our territory. I'm also going to have to build a capital. We're going to build a capital in Praha and capital in Pest, which will further cement our authority over the territory. And now getting Moravia and the other vassals integrated seems more dire than ever. Now I have gotten a small army here. First, Magyar Hadsereg. So we're gonna keep it. This is going to be our Hungarian army. We don't really have a ruler right now to train our troops, but well, no, Yosef Zaitz is gonna be here and he's gonna continue drilling the. Actually, no. We now need money to protect our troops. Can we recruit a general? How far are we? Okay, let's recruit another general for the Hungarian army. Jan Jiří Žižka will command the Hungarian army, and we're going to strengthen that one by the units that we're going to get from this territory when it is done. Now we can take a technology now, the Bombardieros. Bombardieros, beginning in 1489, with Prince John of Portugal, navies began to place specialized teams of gunners on board each warship. These bombardieros were trained to work as a team in order to load and fire faster and more accurately. So naval morale increased. Okay, let's cut off relations with Lüneburg. And I'm kind of interested, this is mostly part, wow, we're getting quite a lot of trade power here. And we do have some in the lower Danube from where we're transferring. Okay, so this also works well. There's another plague spreading. I spoke about it before. The only province that actually had the plague is Praha. The rest got mild plague, which kind of sucks because it killed some of our population, but nothing major. Poland wishes to enter a royal marriage with us. We're gonna grant that, and we can create states. Actually, a lot of them. So let's. Kishafold is going to be created because that's the primary one. Okay, I don't know how many states I can do, so. Well, we're gonna have to reclaim this territory. Damn. Okay, let's do this one. And okay, we're one state short. I think this will also greatly change our strategy for the upcoming group, because administrative ideas now seem a lot more reasonable. So we're gonna get the fortification ideas and then probably the administrative ideas. We really need that under control. Damn. Age of Discovery is ending. Ruse, let's cut off relations. Too many diplomatic relations. A request for military. Okay, we're still centralizing. News of a holy war. Okay, Rupin, Brabant has been... Wow. Schleswig-Holstein, cut off relations, 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 cut off. Damn. And we also must not forget that we got the Göteborg city now as part of our domain too. So Bohemia has grown quite drastically. We'll need to keep that in mind. And when I build the capital here, it's 1500. So we need 3000 gold, 1500 for Praha, and 1500 for Pest. That's gonna be a bitch. Apart from the council starting, Our provinces now have the communication efficiency, and we can guess what the autonomy is going to be. So Hellas has a 65% autonomy. Pest is going to have like 40. Fair will have 70. How come? Okay, the communication efficiency here is bad. There's no roads. How far would go here? 74. Yes, it's way too far. The communication. Oh wait, oh no, it's very poor. Okay, so the roads are very necessary here. So we need to connect these provinces all by roads to retain control over the last vestiges of our territory. This is gonna be interesting. Also, there's a council going on, a religious meeting. I wonder if we'll figure out something what to do with the Pope. Influence. They could try to become the Pope controller. Pope control. I wanted to say paper control, but Pope control is fun too. Okay, and with all of this added, we really can get more land force. Damn, that kind of sucks, honestly. I need to be careful about that. Mary of Hungary. It is said that you could actually hear Mary of Hungary's heart break when she was brought the news that her husband King Louis II has fallen ill in the Battle of Mohács. Oh wait, not fallen ill, had fallen in the Battle of Mohács. The heart-shaped medallion worn by her husband during the battle is always worn by her, and she vowed never to marry again. While her husband was still alive, she held significant authority and influence, and she had proven to be a determined and skillful politician. For example, she appointed Austria's ambassador Andrea de Burgo herself, and when political factions threatened the throne, she took control over one and neutralized another. She loves literature, music, and hunting, and is an enthusiastic patron of many different arts. Her brother Ferdinand, King of Bohemia, made her regent of Hungary after her husband's death despite her reluctance. After he assumed the crown, her older brother Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor, asked her to be the regent of the Netherlands and assume guardianship over their nieces Dorothea and Christina of Denmark, and Margaret of Austria, Duchess of Savoy, had died. This post was even more reluctantly accepted by Mary, and she never enjoyed it, although she served so well as a regent that Charles forced her to retain the role. It felt like having a rope around her neck, she complained to her brother Ferdinand. She would be happier as an advisor to the throne. Make it so. Gain 100 administrative, diplomatic, and military power, and the Hungarian Catholic diplomat Mary of Hungary joins your court. Or Mary will rule our nation. Mary Jankowski's Washimy, with a strong claim of Hungarian heritage, becomes the ruler. No! We have the Kinskis. No, she would be really nice. She would be happier. We're gonna take her. Here she is, Mary of Hungary. Let's hire her. We're making quite a buck. The end of Schism. After the incredible ordeal, the schism splitting the Catholic Church has been brought to a close. There is now only one Pope leading one exhausted Church, at last. With only one reigning Pope, Catholics can once again breathe a sigh of relief and throw their support unanimously behind him. The schism is over, long live the Pope. Okay, but the Reformation is just bustling. And the plague has ended. And no, Glogo... And Glogo... What's your religion? Protestant. And the Rupin has become Protestant as well. But these ones will have to be taken first as parts of the empire, because we really can't have that happen to us. Barbary Corsairs plaguing trade route. Barbary Corsairs, pirated supporters by the Ottoman Empire and the Emirates of North Africa, have long been a severe threat in the Mediterranean, both for ships and coastal settlements, which they raid for plunder and slaves. Now they have started moving in on what we have long considered our safest trade route, and with a ship going missing seemingly every other day, our merchants are suffering. So, what can we go with? We must increase patrols and keep them at bay? Or that's just the risk of travel at sea? Let's increase patrols and keep them at bay. And we can get the next idea, which is Deus Vult. Deus Vult, we have been tasked with a holy mission to bring the true faith to heretics and heathens by force of arms. We can now declare holy wars on our enemies. Grants access to religious casus belli against nearby heathens and heretics with high enough piety. Poor government policies. God damn it, game. I have been just making some money. Attempt to improve the situation. Interestingly, by the way, some of our provinces have started, or some of our provinces have actually had some of the religious provinces that we've seen before. Most notably, Borsod is now Protestant, but we could convert it. We had like 2.1% something. So I'm building a cathedral there, which will lower the quite high unrest due to intolerance, and also it's going to lower the or increase the strength of the missionary in the province. Kolosh has also quite a lot of Orthodox people here. There's a large Catholic community, which I believe, yes, total missionary strength in this province is 2.1 as well. So we have built the cathedral here, which will lower the unrest a bit further. I think that was like 2% there, now it's 0, and we'll be able to convert this one as well once we get the missionary back. The one that's troubling me is Shekeli Fold, because this one we have no strength here to do it. There's a really high unrest due to the intolerance and autonomy. I think building a cathedral here is also wise, because it's going to lower the unrest and increase the missionary strength, and maybe when there's an uprising we'll be able to convert them. I don't know. But yeah, these are the first parts of our territory that have converted. And as mentioned before, we need to regain control of the territories like Rupin, Glogau, and Vignitz that have converted, because we can't have that. We're a Catholic Pope supporter extraordinaire. Even though our queen is a free thinker, we have a cardinal in the government, and we have quite high, where was it, the piety. I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, Bohemian Church influence 75% and Bohemian piety is 55%. So we're gonna do our best to keep that on. Wow. Wow, so many reasons for war. Now that our queen, the venerable Maria Jankowski z Woszymy, has managed to sway the church into digging up the old Deus Vult tomes, we can attack the nearby Wallachia that has the Orthodox faith, but surprisingly, all of their provinces are Catholic, and we can use the phony Liberate the Faithful casus belli in regaining these provinces, which will appease the church, and it will appease the Bohemian estates, and it will appease pretty much everyone into supporting this war. However, her, me, and you guys know that that is nonsense. She's doing this because of the Hungarian estates. She wants them to believe and see her as the liberator and true queen of Hungary, so that she will be able to pass both thrones to her son Peter Kinski. Now she has quite a lot of money in the treasury. She has the manpower. agricultural innovations. Sure, give them some incentives. And she, as a free thinker, can see behind the ropes and see how to hold both territories under the Bohemian crown. Now, the war will be swift. Wallachia is weakened. It was decimated by the wars with the Ottomans many times. And snatching this territory from them will make sure that the Ottomans won't take it first. However, it also means that we will have an active border with the Ottomans, and furthermore, it will open the door for us into attacking them and regaining some of the Transylvanian territories that are originally Hungarian. Though, the only one I'm really interested in the next few years will be Banat. But if we regain the territory of Wallachia, we get pretty much most of the Hungary taken, and we can turn back our eyes on Austria and see if we might be able to regain these three provinces that they rightfully owe us now. So without further ado, let's declare the war on Wallachia by the Casus Belli Liberate the Faithful, and we're gonna go with, I don't know, Hunyad as the main war goal. Now the war should be fairly simple. I'm not even going to raise the forts, just keep the one in Pest and Bihar up. Because the only ally that they have is here, and that one won't do us much harm. So you guys will go here, you guys will go here, we'll destroy the army, conquer the territory, and we'll see if we can fully annex them, which I think we might. Oh, okay, we can't see that yet. But we'll just attack and see how much we can get. If we let them live, we'll let them live with these two provinces that are secure from the Ottoman threat, and take these 3 or 4 if possible. I think I should have checked, but the Casus Belli Liberate the Faithful gives you like 10%, aggressive expansion or something like that, so we should be pretty quickly able to get this territory, maybe even annex them. I would prefer that, honestly. So, that's all for this episode. I hope you like the way I'm steering this. I'm right now roughly 10 episodes ahead of you guys, so if you have any interesting comments to this, I will probably not be able to incorporate them immediately, but I do read all of your comments, and I'm trying my best to eventually, A, answer you, and B, if they make sense, immediately incorporate them into my playthrough. So, see you in the next episode where we do this war with Wallachia.